Most people don't have bad genetics. They just have bad habits. People like to make that excuse as to why they are not building muscle or actually increasing in size or actually losing fat. They always take it to it's my genetics. They never actually realize that it's their habits that has put them in this situation. I was also one of those people. I also thought because I'm small and I'm naturally skinny that I won't be able to build muscle and actually grow in size so easily. But I actually saw one of my friends who was the same size as me, younger than me, but the only difference was he didn't blame his genetics. He actually put in the work and did the right things to build the physique that he had. And when I witnessed that, it was actually like a realization moment where it just clicked to me that I was making all of those excuses all the time. But what I actually needed to look at was what I was doing, the habits that I was implementing. Was I exercising enough? Was I eating enough? Was I sleeping enough? Was I recovering enough? All of those things I had to look at to actually see why I was not in that place that I wanted to be. And a similar situation happened with my other friend. He was always struggling to lose weight. So he tried all these different things. He tried a keto diet. He tried eating 2 times a day. He tried fasting. None of it worked. And over time, he started to think maybe it's just his body or maybe it's just his genetics that is preventing him from actually losing weight and actually having the physique that he wanted. So I looked at what he was doing. I actually asked him what he was doing throughout the day. And he left out one piece of information that showed me that he wasn't doing the right things. Can you guess what that piece of information was? Why he wasn't losing weight? I'll just give you a moment. If you said that he wasn't tracking his meals, you are correct. Because that is the thing that he wasn't doing. And that is so important when you are trying to lose weight, is to track what you are eating. Because if you don't know what is going into your mouth, how can you actually expect to make progress in the gym and build muscle? Because the food that you eat is the building blocks for your muscles to grow. If you're not giving your body the building blocks, how can you build your body into the sculpture that you want it to be? If you're not given bricks to build a house, how can you build a house? The same thing with you. So when I also investigated what I was doing, the mistakes that I saw that I was doing was I wasn't going hard enough in the gym. And the biggest thing that I was not doing was tracking what I was eating. Because as I mentioned, if you are not giving your body the building blocks and the tools it needs to actually build a good and aesthetic physique, you can't expect it, even though you're working hard in the gym, you can't expect it to produce an aesthetic physique. So once I was able to track my workouts and actually saw what I was eating, that's when I started to make insane progress. You can also see how I explained in a video of how I gained 10 kg while staying under 15% body fat. I also go into detail of how I actually tracked my meals to actually see the progress that I wanted. And that's the truth of what you should be looking at. You shouldn't be focusing on your genetics because that isn't something you can control. And when you start to focus on things that you can't control, you won't actually improve your situation. The only way you can improve your situation is focusing on what you can control. Because the things you can't control, you can't do anything about it. So what's the point in focusing on it? It doesn't make sense. So focus on the things you can control. Your exercise habits, your sleeping habits, your recovery habits, what you are eating. Those are things that you can control. So if you focus on those things, then you will make progress on the goals that you actually want. And that's a lesson that I also had to learn the hard way. I've been exercising now for 4 years, and 3 of those years, I was relatively the same weight. I grew muscle my first year, but after that first year, I didn't make any noticeable progress because I wasn't focusing on things I could control. I wasn't looking at what I was eating. I wasn't looking at the exercise that I was doing. I wasn't looking at my sleeping habits. All of those factors, I wasn't focusing on them. So I thought to myself, is it my genetics? But then I saw my friend who was able to do that. And that changed my perspective to actually look at what I was doing. And when I did that, I was actually able to start making real progress and actually work towards becoming and building the body that I've always wanted. And I'm not all the way there. I still have a lot of more steps to do and a lot of more progress to make. But I know it's all up to myself. I can't rely on other factors that I can't control. Because the only things I can control is what I do and the things that I can focus on. Once you have that same mindset of only looking at the things that you can control and stop making excuses of genetics or other people that can't influence your life, that's when you will start to make progress on the goals that you want for your life. You become the person you want to be by pushing through the times you want to quit.